what is ayahuasca, and why would someone really want to consider it?
Yeah, it's a great question. Well, ayahuasca is a psychedelic brew, known to many cultures of South America and now other places, but it originated really in the Amazon. And it can be mixed in different ways, but traditionally, in the context and in the cultures traditions that I worked with it within, it's typically ayahuasca vine and chacruna,
Mm.
sometimes wambisa. It's these two like components. They cook it together over hours, and that is like the brew itself. Then there's the ceremony, which is held by a shaman or a curandero, maybe more appropriately. And these are like the medicine people of the Amazon. I worked within, again, the Shipibo tradition and lineages. And so typically it's performed at night within a maloka or ceremonial structure. Um, you come into a space like that, the healers invite you to come take a drink of this ayahuasca. You drink about a small glass or a
Mm.
shot glass of it. They also drink it. Everyone goes back to their space, and the lights are off. We only use candles, but then the candles are blown out. And through just the power of the medicine itself, which in my opinion has very much a spirit to it and is very much intelligent and is alive, really, through its inherent properties and its power, and then the healers themselves who sing these icaros, sing these songs, and work through the vibration of their songs and the intention to uh, sort of essentially operate upon the people
Mm.
who are in the space, work with the energies that are in the space. It provokes a very deep, very powerful experience for people, and different people have different experiences. Sometimes they're incredibly visual and visionary. Sometimes they go on these incredible journeys where they leave their body and they go experience whatever they experience. Sometimes it's very visceral in the body, where it's more just on the physical level and they feel like the energy is just moving and shifting. Sometimes it's very cathartic and memories come back online that they've forgotten, and they just feel them to such a depth. And sometimes it's a combination of all of these things, but
Mm.
usually people come and connect with this medicine because they're called to. They really feel like something drawing them to it, and usually what that is has something to do with them seeking healing on an emotional level, on an energetic level from traumas. Sometimes they're maybe not so aware of that specifically. They're maybe having issues in their relationships or in their purpose. They're feeling like they don't really feel fulfilled. They feel
Mm.
like they're blocked in some way. They're at a crossroad. They don't know what to do. And so then they come, hoping that ayahuasca can help with that. And often it does. And so, as far as to address the part of your question, which is talking about like, why would somebody want to do this? I think the first thing that's very important is that, people feel called to it. People feel drawn to it. Usually, and I've experienced this a few times, sometimes there's one person that might come to do ayahuasca who feels called, feels drawn, and they kind of drag somebody along saying, oh, you have to do this too. This is great, for
Yeah.
everybody.
Wow.
And they often have very different experiences. Sometimes the other person has a great experience too, but I think what I'm getting
Mm.
at is that it's a very intentional process, and it seems like it calls people towards it in a way. And so, yes, that's usually how it works. And again, those are usually the things that people address, these kinds of
Mm-hmm.
emotional, spiritual traumas, these kinds of things. And from there, I mean, that can really unlock potentials. Again, whether people are looking for, more intimacy in their relationships, or even just to attract the right partner, or to be better parents, be better, leaders in their lives, in their companies, etc.
Mm.
And so really it's a very powerful tool for a lot of different means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. Thanks for that. That was a beautiful, beautiful answer. I remember my best friend. We've known each other for about, I don't know, 20, 23, 24 years now. he did ayahuasca maybe 2 or 3 times, and I think it was the first time was after a lot of consideration. And he told me, you know, um, that experience, that trip, that ceremony really changed my life, but I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. It's,
Yeah.
certain things, because they're especially heavy, as you said, and you've known from firsthand experience. It's not something that you can give a very is a open invitation to someone, right? Like you said, they need to be called to, because once you get in there, you can really open a lot of can of worms unintentionally, unknowingly, because everything is very deep in the subconscious. But yeah,
Hmm.
people should tread carefully when they're like just being dragged into, oh yeah, come and do a weekend with me ayahuasca, thinking that they're going on a vacation. Doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Hmm.
I really, just to tie that up, I really appreciate you bringing that up, because in trying to kind of keep it concise and share, a holistic kind of picture of what ayahuasca is and why somebody might want to work with it, I think I just overlooked a little bit the sort of seriousness of it, which, to your point, it's very powerful. If anything, the reason that it has such a capability to be so transformative in people's
Hmm.
lives is because it has the capability to take people to depths and degrees of darkness, and accessing shadow that really few things have the ability to do. And so those experiences can be the most terrifying, the most challenging. Of course, usually there's also some other side of it, where you come out of it kind of
Hmm.
reborn in a way, but
Hmm.
you do have to die, so to speak, and oftentimes in many different ways. And so, yes, it's not to be taken lightly. I don't think people need to be afraid of it, but I think it's important that we acknowledge that it is very powerful, very
Hmm.
sacred, and can be, just like you say, uh, challenging too,
Hmm.
heavy at times.